Hi, everybody. Welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada. And you can find me online at stampingwithmelva.com. It's Thursday today, and every Thursday I usually jump on with a mystery challenge, but a couple of times a month I do something slightly different. So today I want to show you the December paper pumpkin kit. I just got mine in the mail. It's so pretty. It's called All the Best, and it includes all of the projects you need for, I think, 9 cards, 3 of 3 designs, as well as an acetate box to put your cards in. So that's really fun to get. It's a great gift if you make these cards, or you give it to somebody to make. And so I wanted to show you this. Now, all of my Paper Pumpkin subscribers get a bonus. Oh gosh, sorry. Hey Pam, terrible weather. It's not bad here. The fog's gone. All of my subscribers get a bonus tutorial with projects showing you how to use your stamp and ink spot to make other projects, because you always end up with an ink spot and a stamp with your paper pumpkin. And so that's one of the bonuses if you're a subscriber with me. Otherwise, I just want to show you what the December kit is and maybe get you excited for what the January kit could be. It's always the fun thing is to be surprised about what the kit is when you get it. Stampin' Up! Does on the, I think the 11th of each month, share a sneak peek. And the cool part of the next 3 months is there is a coordinating die that goes with the January, February, March kit. That you can buy if you're a Paper Pumpkin subscriber. So what's better? Stamp set and then a coordinating die that will coordinate with the 3 months. All right, these are great gifts as well. If you're still struggling for last minute gifts, a prepaid Paper Pumpkin subscription is a great way to go. You can buy it 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months. And they make great gifts for your crafty friends or family. All right, let me switch over. So this is the Paper Pumpkin kit, not a special box. Oh goodness, you have brown Christmas. It definitely will be a brown Christmas compared to last year here. Hey Betty. So this is how Paper Pumpkin arrives. Sometimes there's a special box that it's in, but this time it's just the regular Paper Pumpkin box. I love these because you can keep your stuff in them, but they're also great for storage. When you open it, it's always wrapped in tissue paper. Hey Lynn. There is the stamp set. There is an ink spot. Usually it's just 1 ink spot. Sometimes there's more. Sometimes there's a bonus. And then it's always wrapped in this lovely tissue paper in a plastic container that has everything you need except for an ink block, a stamp block, and scissors, because there's even dimensionals and tear and tape in this one. So I'm not going to open this. I just wanted to show you what it looked like on the inside. So I've already opened one of my boxes. I always get more than one because I like to, oh my gosh, you really are having a rough time of it, Pam. Okay, so I've pulled out everything I need to make one of each of the cards. There is always, if I can find it, the instructions that go with it that show you what the cards look like. Again, there are three cards with the coordinating envelopes, which I didn't pull out. They are so pretty. So look at these coordinating envelopes with this month's kit. So on the inside, now it takes a little bit, I think, to once you figure out how these instructions work. So it kind of takes you, this is card number 1, and then it tells you this is the representation of the ink spot. So you're going to stamp the wishing you all the best on one of those sentiment labels. You're going to use dimensionals. So these little things are dimensionals. You're going to use one of the little tiny, there's a bunch of die cuts or laser cuts I'll show you. And you're going to attach that using the dimensional to your sentiment. And then you're going to plop that right on to your card base. So easy. And then these tell you how many of the little embellishments. So if we follow along, it's exactly kind of the same for each of these cards. So I'll show you the first one. these go together so easy. I really love to make these. Oops, actually there's two of them. Okay, there we go. I always like, it's just kind of easy to make these and have them to give them away or package them up. So the stamp, I'm going to use my pebbled path. When I have the ink color, I like the big pads, ink pads. Okay, so we're going to stamp the stamp that says, wishing you all the best. And I am going to use part of a piercing mat because these are photopolymer stamps and they just gives you a better stamped image if you use something that's got cushion on it. So there we go. There's my sentiment. We're going to add the dimensionals. So you always get more than enough dimensionals in your package so you can use them on the rest of your cards. Often there's embellishments left over as well. So this is going to go on. I'm going to put this on. It tells me to put this on first, but I'm just going to I put that on. I'm used to kind of putting stamped images on. And that goes on like that with a dimensional. And then this little one, now it says glue dots, but I don't remember getting glue dots in this package, and maybe I missed them. So I'm just going to use one of my glue dots. So this is one of the little gold laser cuts. And this is just going to kind of go over top like that. And that's it. Am I doing a paper pumpkin? Yeah. I'm not sure what you mean, Betty. Oh, and then the last thing we need, the embellishments in this are kind of a blue. It's kind of hard to see. Let's see. They're a little bit blue gems. And I'm supposed to put 3 of them on. So 2 of the large ones, and you can put them wherever you want. It tells you, kind of gives you spots to put them. So they've got one there, and they've got one kind of there, and they've got one there. So that's the first card. How easy is that? Isn't that pretty? Just the colors are so gorgeous with the balmy blue, yellow, a little bit of old olive, and pebbled path. Okay, so now let's take and make the second card, which is, open this up, which is this one here. So I always kind of keep my instructions. If you want to make them the same as how they've done them, Stampin' Up! Has designed them, then you keep your instructions, or you can just make them however you want to. So the first thing we're going to do with this one is we're going to stamp the sentiment, and we're using the one that says 1,000 good luck wishes, and it's go on one of these tag or flag banners. So we'll stamp that in pebbled path. Now, Stampin' Up! Has included tear and tape. I'm not going to use the tear and tape, so they're suggesting you use tear and tape on this. I'm actually just going to use my liquid glue. So, of course, I left my lid open yesterday. I got so flustered yesterday. If you watched me, I made a pinwheel tower card yesterday. And when I put it all together, the last piece I put on upside down. So it's got the bee. I used Be My Valentine. I put the bee on, that one on upside down. So I'm going to have to fix that before I give that out. All right, and we're going to use dimensionals on our sentiment layer. And for this one, that's my sentiment. We're using one of these really pretty flowers, the big flowers. So we're going to put a few dimensionals on this one to hold it in place, maybe just 2. Okay, so this is going to go on first in between these nice gold embossed images on our cardstock. Now, if you tried paper pumpkin many years ago and you you didn't like it, because many of us did, and Stampin' Up! Has done some major improvements on the kits. They're so amazing now. So if you haven't tried it in a long time, maybe now is the time to try it. So we're just going to add this. They're suggesting five embellishments for this one. You can put as many as you want. Like that. These are just so pretty. There we go. That is the second card. So pretty. Okay. And then the last card, which is I think the easiest card of them all. So it's using this really pretty, just kind of a very subtle background layer. They're doing it as a portrait or a landscape card. And then there is this shape of label. So that's going to go in the middle. Now, again, they've used tear and tape, but before we do that, we're going to stamp. And on this one, we're going to stamp the sentiment that says, "Hello, friend." These stamps are great because you can use them afterwards. These ones, I just love the font on these ones. Okay, now, again, they're using tear and tape. I've just got my liquid glue. I usually save tear and tape for something where it needs to be really sticky and not, and you can't, like you don't want it to come off and it's going to get some wear and tear. Now, for this one, we're using these flowers that are in a kind of a curve. Yes, it is so improved, Betty. You're right, because I did stop as well, but I just love my paper pumpkin kits now. So these are going to create a garland around the edge of our card, or around the edge of our, so like this. Oops, come on off. So it's fun because you can make these cards exactly the way they are. Isn't that pretty? And then, of course, the embellishments. And again, they're suggesting 5 on this one. So you can make the cards exactly as they suggest or give you the pictures of, or you can create your own alternative. And that's what I'm going to show you next, is an alternative. So those are the 3 cards as they are, as designed by Stampin' Up! Aren't they gorgeous? Just love them. They're just so pretty. Okay, so let me show you an alternative that I created, and I'll show you how easy it is. So this is an alternative card that I created, and I've used some balmy blue cardstock and some pebbled path, and then I've used some of the shapes. And then this, of course, this is that banner sentiment, and I just cut it a little bit smaller. And of course, embellishments. And on the inside, I took some basic white. So let me show you how easy that card is. So I've got my balmy blue. Pull out my paper trimmer. Ooh, I got that into some balmy blue. I got my balmy blue into some of the pebbled path ink by mistake. Oh well, that's okay. It's only on one side. That's why I always try. Yeah, gold accents are pretty. That's why I always try and close my ink lid, because I can't often get some of the cardstock in the corner of it. Okay, so that is 4 1/4 by 11, and then I've got a layer that is 4 inches by 5 1/4. Again, that's pebbled path. And then this is one of the card bases, and so I've cut it to be 3 3/4 by 5. So you could get 2 of these from one of the card bases. So I'm just adhering that onto my pebbled path. And then this goes on. I can't quite decide whether those are clouds, or they almost look like the the pretty little fluffy things that fall, like fly off of the dandelions. Hey Pam, nice, thanks for joining. Hope everything's okay and you don't lose your power. Okay, so that's the front. Now I've got one of the pieces of that is curved, and then this one, on my original card I used just one of the little small ones, but I've used all of those up, so I'm going to take one of the bigger ones and I just kind of cut it off, and I'm going to use dimensionals on these. I just wanted a little bit of extra flour for my corner, so just put that down in the corner. A couple of dimensionals on this piece, and we'll just tuck that down underneath there like that. And then we're going to stamp, and I'm going to use the Hello Friend, and I want to stamp closest to the banner end because I'm going to trim this off like that. And while I've got my ink out, I'm going to stamp this large, hey Connie, welcome. I'm going to stamp this large flower. Isn't this pretty? Look at that. Just so pretty. Okay, close that up because no doubt I will get my card in it. Now this one, if you haven't trimmed off, if you haven't glued this all on, it makes it a little easier. But I'm going to bring my paper trimmer in, and I'm just going to cut about maybe an inch off that end. You could just use your paper snips too. Yeah, it's kind of fun to just kind of create with this. Now you could use dimensionals on this. I think I glued it flat, but I'm going to use dimensionals on this one. Yeah, there's lots of, if you look on Pinterest, there's lots of ideas for paper pumpkin. And Stampin' Up! Also shares alternative projects with it. Now, this card that I'm making, I'm going to share in a blog hop coming up, and you'll see all sorts of alternatives. So that's going live next week. Now, I'm just going to put 3 of these on. So yeah, so every month I participate in a blog hop that we share alternative projects for the paper pumpkin for the month. So it's usually I believe the last Wednesday of each month that you can check my blog out and see those projects. So this is my alternative project for January, or for December. Where am I? I'm in the wrong month already. Okay, so those are the 3 cards that are part of the kit, like that. And then that's my alternative project. And then of course we have this really pretty, if I can find it. We have a box, an acetate box that you can put your cards in and give them away. So let's just get the instructions out. Okay, so we've got the box. So it's all scored, so you just kind of have to take and fold on the score lines to create the box. And then just tuck the ends in. Just take and fold. You could use your bone folder, but I just find just kind of gently folding with your fingers is plenty for these acetate boxes. And then you can close that up. I love these acetate boxes. We used to sell them, and they're lovely for creating gifts. Okay, there we go. So there's my box that is put together. Now, they also have included a belly band that's all ready for you. Now, this one I will use tear and tape on. So it goes on. It's even scored. So we're just going to take and fold it around on the score lines. And I'm going to use some of the tear and tape that they included and just put it about an inch. Overlap is what it looks like they have allowed for. So I take my backing off of the tear and tape. So if you've got some paper pumpkin kits that you haven't made and you've got family and friends coming over for the holidays, maybe bring out some, because you'd be surprised if people are looking for something to do. They're finished dinner and they're so full they can't do much else. Maybe they can do some crafting, or maybe they can do some crafting before dinner. So these cards will fit nicely into the box. What a nice gift that would be. Like that. So that's 4 cards without the envelope. So probably 3 cards will fit most nicely with the envelopes. But that's what it looks like when you go to give it away. Isn't that fun? I love the fact that you don't really know what you're going to get when you get your paper pumpkin arrives. It's kind of a surprise, and it's always fun to, if you're, oh, I forgot to put one of them. Sorry, one of the let's go back there. One of the little flowers is supposed to go on to this, so we'll just take and put that there. There we go. So now it's finished as it would have been. Yeah, so I like the fact that you don't know what you're going to get when it arrives, and then you can just take and put them together. You don't feel like being creative. Well, Stampin' Up! Has done the work in the kit, and you can put them together. And they've had some fun ones. They're not always cards. Last month, they were little treat boxes as little houses that you could use for treat boxes. They were so cute. I sold them at my craft fair. So yeah, it's always a surprise, and you do get the sneak peeks, so you kind of have some sense of what it might look like, but you're not necessarily sure until it arrives. Save your little ink spots, because you can use them. You can re-ink them if they run out, and of course save the stamp sets, because there's some great stamp sets that you like. So don't forget, there's still time to order these. If you need a last minute gift, you can order the prepaid subscription. That email with the redemption link comes out immediately. And so you can have it and be in time for Christmas if you're still looking for some last minute gifts. Or maybe you want to give yourself a gift and try it. So you can do 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months if you just want to try it as a prepaid subscription. Or you can subscribe month to month. And it just arrives on your doorstep. It bills, if you do it that way, it bills about the 10th or 11th, I guess the 11th of the month, and then usually arrives in the next week or so after that. So that's another way you could do it. All right, everybody, thanks so much for joining me today. Now, I'm going to do one more live on Saturday with another card. I'm going to give you a sneak peek, another neat sneak peek of, I think actually I've shared it, it's the Ice Cream Swirl stamp set. So I'm going to make a card using that. So join me on Saturday, and then I'm going to take a little bit of a break over Christmas, between Christmas and New Year's, and I'll be back after the New Year. So come join me at 11 a.m. on Saturday, and that'll be the last until the New Year. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for joining me. Hope you have a great day. Happy stamping. Bye.